Investigations place the lives of potential witnesses at risk and prejudice those who could face prosecution. Independent Senator Stephen King agrees.
I think the Prime Minister handled himself quite well with the impacts report. I mean, it's obviously a difficult time for all of us. And at the end of the day, we just have to get what's right for everybody, all concerned. So I think, personally, I think it's not a good idea to release that report to the public. I think the way it's been handled is probably the best way to handle it.
Government Senator Deborah Tobier, while understanding why this is a sensitive and emotional issue for many, has cautioned against a rush to judgment or the inclination to paint the entire police force with the same brush as a result of the investigation's findings.
I've read a lot of what is being said on social media. I know that people are very, very passionate and emotional about it, but I think also people must consider the manner in which it is being handled, that it's a national issue. It is not an issue that is for one side, one party or the other. It's really something that we have to look closely at going forward, still recognizing the critical and essential and vital services that our police force give us, even if the implication is, according to the allegations, that there was some involvement on the part of some members of the police force.
Opposition Senator Ezekiel Joseph wants to see the entire report. He is the latest in a growing line calling for the contents of the document to be made public.
The report is not out. Okay. The report is not out. We are hearing statements by the Prime Minister alluding to the report. Individually, personally, I would like to see the report, at least to verify what the Prime Minister has said.
Among other things, the investigation found that all the shootings reviewed were fake encounters staged by the police to legitimize their actions. The matter has been turned over to the Director of Public Prosecutions. For the DBS News World, Kendall Burton reporting.
Local businesswoman and government Senator Deborah Tobier has been reacting to recent statements by the Prime Minister that the crime situation in the island was being facilitated by a number of corrupt individuals, including business people. Here is DBS's Melissa Paul with more.
The Prime Minister was speaking on the findings of an investigation into alleged extrajudicial police killings by a team of Jamaican investigators. The senator says the findings should not be taken lightly as they have implications for the island's ability to attract direct foreign investment. She says the revelations also point to a need to address the several deficiencies in the judicial system as a matter of urgency.
Certain people know that we have inefficiencies in the judicial system. We have a lot to change and a lot of improvements are required. But when we start thinking of doing things without going through due process, it means that the lines become very, very blurred. And I always relate a lot of the things that I believe in to how I run my business. When you look at running a business, if you think of bending the rules a little bit or doing things that are unethical or not principled on the basis that you're trying to achieve a particular end, then it becomes something that you're setting an example that is incorrect for your staff, and you're also setting an image for the company that's not something that is sustainable.
The senator says there is no denying the involvement of some local business persons in crime, saying its corrosive impact on growth and business operations necessitates swift action to be taken to deal with the problem.
We would be not telling the truth if we said that it doesn't happen. To what level is what I guess the investigations will bring out. It's unfortunate, and again, it's going back to doing things the ethical and principled way. We must always uphold what is the right way, rather than just justify what we're trying to achieve because of all of the different challenges that we face. It cannot be a good thing right now.
According to the senator, such corruption can have far-reaching implications for the country, since corruption not only affects economic development in terms of economic efficiency and growth, but it also affects equitable distribution of resources across the population. And this in turn may undermine long-term sustainable development, economic growth and equality, she says. For the DBS News World, Kendall Burton reporting.
Thank you, Melissa. CSA President Mary Isaac says the Public Service Commission should deal with any officers or public servants implicated in the impacts report. DBS's Don Nicholas has details.
President of the Civil Service Association, Mary Isaac, says for any public officers implicated in the report by the investigative team from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, there is the Public Service Commission in place to deal with such disciplinary matters. Ms. Isaac spoke just ahead of the sitting of the Senate today.
One thing I have to say is that police officers, public workers are appointed by the Public Service Commission and also disciplined by the Public Service Commission. And I know that as long as the Commission has a role to play, then whatever happens, it is going to be fair, because the Commission is the agency that is responsible for disciplining, employing, appointing, and doing everything with public workers.
Meanwhile, Independent Senator Berthia Paul, who is also former president of the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association, does not think that the impacts report will have negative implications for the island's tourism industry. Mrs. Paul thinks people will still want to come and vacation here.
I don't think so. I don't think it's really going to affect us in any way that people who are planning to come to St. Lucia will not come because of the report. I think we will continue to get the level of investments that we are getting, and will continue to get the people staying at our hotels. So I don't believe that that report will have any major problems for us.
The Prime Minister had revealed certain details of the impacts report in his address to the nation on March 8th. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
2 Spanish nationals are in police custody after a drug operation at Moshi. Police say that yesterday at about 10:55 p.m., officers of the drug squad intercepted a vehicle. The lawmen reported that a search of the said vehicle revealed a suitcase containing 19 rectangular blocks of a substance suspected to be cocaine. The 2 Spanish nationals who were in the vehicle at the time were taken into custody and are assisting with investigations. Meanwhile, a St. Lucian man has been detained in the United States on accusations that he used his job aboard a cruise ship to smuggle cocaine into the United States. 30-year-old Johnson Sherabin is among a group of 5 Norwegian Cruise Lines workers arrested on Sunday for allegedly smuggling cocaine into the U.S. Johnson is reported to originate from Cicerone Castries. Investigators claim the 5 galley workers aboard the Norwegian Sun cruise ship picked up 7 kilograms of cocaine during a port call in Rutan, Honduras. They are alleged to have brought the drugs onto the ship concealed in their underwears. A federal affidavit said customs officials were suspicious of ship workers Jason Carmichael, Arkeen John, Alfred Ince, Tafon Delice, and Johnson Sherabin as they left the ship in Tampa. Investigators tracked them to a hotel where an exchange was alleged to have taken place, and they were arrested on their return to the ship. The men were allegedly found to be in possession of more than $40,000 in cash and Western Union receipts for currency transfers. The 5 men, along with 2 women who were found in possession of the cocaine, remain in federal custody. And from that report to Kendall Burton, who's standing by with tonight's presentation of Street Vibes. Kendall?
Hi, I'm Kendall Burton, and you're watching Street Vibes. It's World Kidney Day, and we ask the question today, are St. Lucians conscious enough of their kidney health as well as their overall health?
I don't believe Lucians are health conscious because we Lucian eating too much bugs.
Sometimes, to be more precise, for not everybody may be on the side where health is concerned, because most of the time it all depends on the type of food that you eat or the type of alcohol or drinks that you consume. And a lot of people tend to not knowing what is basically good for you or what's bad for you, because a lot of people just go with the flow. So sometimes you can say on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe you might find, I'll give it like 6 or somewhere there. Because a lot of people just follow the trends. They see you doing this, they will want to do it. But then on the other side, eating right and taking care of the body physically, they're not up to that part. So I don't think they're that fully health conscious.
No, they doesn't take care of the body enough good for me. And
why do you think so?
Because they don't have time. And they're eating things everywhere.
Well, no, I don't think St. Lucians are health conscious enough, because for some reason there are so many different means in which we St. Lucians can go and just walk into certain places and get our, like Victoria Hospital, you can go and check your blood, check if you have AIDS or so many other diseases out there, and people hardly take advantage of these things, you understand? So I believe St. Lucians are not health conscious enough. We need to be more, how would I call it? Proactive, right. We need to be more proactive when it comes towards our health, because people die so quickly. You know, the simple little thing, by the time you reach the hospital, they tell you you have kidney failure, you have heart failure. So I think St. Lucian should really take more action when it comes to our health.
My advice with this, most St. Lucians, they don't care. They don't watch the sugar that they use. They do not watch the salt that they use. Most of them, they go partying, they eat anything. They just not self-conscious, they're not health conscious. And exercising, they don't exercise. And all of these things, and do your normal checkup every year or every 6 months. Go to the dentist, you know, check your sugar, your blood pressure. You know, have a whole checkup. But most of them, once they have their money, they party, and that's it.
And that's the vibe from the street. We take you back to our studio.
Thank you. You're watching St. Lucia's television and news leader and listening to us on Rhythm FM 95.5. We're also online, the big screen at the Aquarius Crossing in downtown Castries, Live FM 95.1 and Kyrie FM 93.1. Still to come, the government defends its response to the plight of a group of Asian students who have been stranded here as a result of the Lamberts Academy scandal. And the opposition United Workers' Party says it is ready for general elections, which it believes will be called later this year. Thank you for staying with the broadcast. The chairman of the United Workers' Party, Ezekiel Joseph, says the party is moving full speed ahead with preparations for the next general election, which he fully expects will be called this year. Mr. Joseph says the party is well advanced in its candidate selection process and will be making an announcement.
The process is ongoing. The respective constituencies have been given instructions to go ahead, and a process has been approved by the National Council, and very soon we'll be making an announcement as to our slate of candidates.
Can you touch a time frame to that?
Hopefully by May, you should be hearing from us, because we're getting ready for elections this year.
The United Workers' Party has repeatedly called on the Prime Minister to call an early poll, citing what the UWP says is his inability to adequately manage the island's ailing economy. Meanwhile, government is providing food and housing for the Asian students who were left stranded here as a result of the Lamberts Academy scandal. The disclosure has come from National Security Minister Victor Lacabinier. Nearly 60 students, mainly from Nepal and the Philippines, said they were lured here by promises of all-inclusive boarding and education and job placements overseas at Lamberts Academy in Gros-Islet. But they said after each paying huge sums of money to the academy, they realized that it was a scam.
We have been addressing some of this. In fact, we have been ensuring that some measure of food and so on is being provided. On a day-to-day basis, I have to be looking at this with my ministry. Clearly, the government at the same time wants to keep a tight rein on the fiscal situation, and therefore we can't have a sort of free-for-all. But we are on a day-to-day assessing and reassessing the situation and trying to ensure that we manage it appropriately.
The Pastoral Center has been housing some of the students, and a guest house owner in Gros-Islet by the name of Marguerite Audin has come to the rescue of others who are said to be running out of finances to support themselves. 4 men have been charged with human trafficking and money laundering in connection with the scandal. The St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce has called on the authorities to act expeditiously on the findings of a report based on the investigation into alleged police atrocities. The report said that the crime problem in St. Lucia is facilitated by corrupt politicians, government officials, business people, and police officers.
The Chamber, at one of its regular board meetings, had an opportunity to review and discuss the Prime Minister's address on the impact report. And at this time, we're not in a position to make any substantive comments, save that we would wish to see the whole law process followed and the matter be dealt with expeditiously so that we don't jeopardize or disturb our already fragile economy and social fabric.
The St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce says while Operation Restore Confidence was underway, business was slow in St. Lucia. In other news, the community of Choiseul is targeted for a major project to help reduce electricity bills. The project is undertaken by Atlas and Jeff.
We are trying to create community energy cells where certain households will be identified with the meet criteria, and we will totally solarize your home so that your electricity bills goes from maybe $300 a month to zero. And that is interesting. I see a lady smiling.
We're going to install solar panels on some people's houses. So those solar panels, they aren't, you know, some people have solar panels on their houses, but that's for heating their water. These solar panels, the photovoltaic system, it will be a grid-tied system that will be lowering the cost of your energy bill, right?
You have research which comes from the surveys, so statistical data on the gender distribution, poverty distribution, the unemployment, the age distributions, which we would be able to, which we are acquiring from the preparation of this project.
A small percentage of money from the homeowners will be submitted towards the fund to maintain the system. Rhythm FM Inc. and DBS has partnered with KFC and Heineken for Agua Melee. The organizers have described the upcoming event as offering 2 days of fun, sand and water activities for everyone this Easter weekend. The organizers say the admission-free events take place on Sunday, April 5th, on Monday, April 6th, from 12 p.m. at the Pigeon Island Beach. According to them, Agua Melee will feature many activities and competitions on both days, with over $10,000 in cash and prizes to be won. Competitions will include a beach volleyball competition, a small goals football competition, a non-marinas race for persons competing with homemade boats, a 7 Seas Reps Fitness Challenge, and a beach body competition, as well as a paintball challenge. Among the scheduled activities are the Pine Hill Kite Flying Exhibition, go-kart racing, and the West Lake Tire Car Audio Sound Clash. Live entertainment will be provided by the Heineken Music Soundstage, with a world of music by the Blazing FM DJs and live performances by top local acts. Agua Melee is sponsored by KFC and Heineken. It is sponsored by Digicel, Pine Hill 7 Seas, Farron's Dairy, Forest Springs, and Sherman's Reserve. When the DBS News World continues igniting the passion, and tickets for the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Thank you for staying with us. The Bethel Church is holding a conference under the theme Ignite My Passion. The conference speaks to relationship issues and will cater for both single and married persons.
The conference is catering for single persons as well as married persons. It looks at a series of various issues. There are many issues that plague marriages, as we well know. Marriages are under attack. So the conference is going to look at subjects such as financial issues, what to do when the love has died, forgiveness issues, communication issues. Those are some of the, as statistics show, some of the most important issues that affect marriages. For the singles, we looked at saved, single, and sexy. What do you do? How do you prepare yourself for marriage? Prepare yourself to be there to find the one that God has placed there already for you. Some persons, young persons, when thinking about finding a mate, they rush out to the first person who shows interest in them. But this conference is going to teach how to be led by the Lord to recognize who is the right mate for you and how to choose that right person.
The conference will run from March 20th to the 22nd at the Bay Gardens Hotel. There's a cost for registration. Online tickets for the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival are now on sale. The St. Lucia Tourist Board is offering discounted prices. DBS's Cecil Actil has all the details.
Preparations for this year's Jazz and Arts Festival are well on the way. Already, the St. Lucia Tourist Board recently added 2 powerhouses to its lineup. Chrisette Michel and Destra are also on this year's list of performers. The announcement was made following a major launch in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Tickets for the concert are online for purchase.
We've been also able to announce the online ticket sales commencement. So if patrons go online now, www.stluciajazz.org, they can purchase online tickets. They can purchase tickets for the festival online, and that includes the main activities from the jazz showcase on Thursday to the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday activities.
According to the public relations manager at the St. Lucia Tourist Board, tickets are discounted at 75% when purchased and 10% if bought in bulk. Organizers of the Jazz and Arts Festival are in the process of announcing their island ticket sales.
For the opening, Destra is going to perform at the opening, I'm happy to say, along with Chronics and an all-star cast of local performers as well. We will use the traditional outlets in terms of Steve's Barbershop and The Cell, and very soon we will tell you when those tickets will be available for that.
The St. Lucia Tourist Board is also trying to fine-tune and tweak traditional venues. For the DBS News World, I am Cecil Actel.
Thank you, Cecil. And on the lighter side tonight, police in Akron, Ohio say a man photographed defecating yikes on a vehicle is believed to be behind at least 19 incidents of parked car pooping. According to the police, the man, who has been nicknamed the serial pooper, the mystery pooper, and the bowel movement bandit, has been linked to 19 incidents involving human feces being left in parked vehicles dating back to May 2012. The man, who police say usually strikes between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m., was caught on camera by a resident. Police say the suspect could face charges, including criminal mischief, if he is identified. And I hope he is identified very soon. That's it.
Good evening, welcome to the DBS Sports. We serve up with news on volleyball. The quarterfinals of the 2015 Under-20 Schools Volleyball Championships got underway yesterday with 3 matches being played at the VG Sports Complex. In the female division, St. Joseph's Convent defeated Choiseul Secondary 25-13, 25-19. Sofa Comprehensive defeated Leon Hess Comprehensive 23-25, 25-17, 15-8. In the male division, 1 match played. Miku Secondary defeated Choiseul Secondary 20-25, 25-19, 15-13. The 4th quarterfinal match between Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and St. Mary's College will take place at the VG Sports Complex tomorrow from 12:30 p.m. That will be followed by 2 semi-final matches in the female division, and that will be as follows. Sofa Comprehensive, they up against the Arthur Lewis Community College, and St. Joseph's Convent will play the Meekwood Secondary. The semi-finals for the male division will be played next week, Tuesday. In football, the St. Lucia Football Association in the District Under-15 and Royal Club Under-23 competitions continued in the various districts on Sunday. In the Under-15 competition, 2 games were played in the Southern Zone at the OJ playing field. In the first game, Soufrière won over V4, 3-2. In the second game, Choiseul won over Labrie, 2-1. In the Royal Club Under-23 competition, the following games were played. The Western Zone at the Ansari playing field, Canaries won over South Castries 2-0, while in the Southern Zone at the Dames playing field, V4 North defeated Labrie 4-1, and V4 South defeated Choiseul 3-0. In the Eastern Zone, Dennery won over Marbella Valley by 1-0, while Miku defeated Deriso 2-0. The Donato School held their annual sports day today at the Sub Sporting Facility. Our cameras caught up with chairman of the school's sports committee, Mr. Walter Sukwa, who spoke briefly on today's activity.
Our sports meet at the Sub Sporting Facility, where we had our events. We had our track events first. We had our 25-meter dash. We had our 50-meter, 100 meters. We had the 4x100 relays. And then we had our fun sports like sack race, lime and spoon, and others. We are having this sports meet here, which is our annual sports meet, so we can prepare our athletes for inter-special school sports, which is scheduled for Soufrière Mini Stadium on the 19th of March 2015. Presently, our students are shaping up well, and we realize that the good thing is that they are able to stay on the tracks, which is an important thing, and they're having fun out there. And then as we get these athletes, we are trying to draft them into clubs and teams, whatever, in the communities, and to have some of them, to really excel. And as they excel, we'll follow the moves, and then from there, we will have them maybe some of them going to Special Olympics, some of them going to other clubs and other areas to see how far they can reach with these athletes. So with the interspecial school sports, as I said, we are preparing for this. We have 7 schools participating in Soufrière. We have Donata School, we have Lady Gordon Opportunity Center, we have Autism Resource Center, we have Educare, we also have Denry Child Development Center, we also have Viewfort Education Center and Soufrière Education Rehabilitation Centers. This will be there, and we have a variety of track events and fun sport events on the 19th of March 2015.
That was Walter Sukwa, chairman of the Donata School Sports Committee. In cricket, St. Mary's College, VA4 Comprehensive Larry Seuss and Marigo Secondary were in winners' row as the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports Massey United Insurance Under-19 Schools Cricket Tournament continued yesterday. At the Grosley playing field, St. Mary's College registered a comfortable 4-wicket victory over the Vidbutai Secondary. Vidbutai Secondary 157, Samuel Paul 60, and Janai Thomas 37. Ryan Joseph 3 for 22. St. Mary's College in reply 158 for 6. Kian Arnold 63 and Denzel Long 36. Marlon Remy, he bagged 3 for 21. At the PIE playing field, VA4 Comprehensive Larry Seuss won over Shrosell Secondary narrowly by 2 wickets. Shrosell Secondary 168, Nick Joseph 45, Zaistas Emmanuel 35, Alkan Joseph 4 for 35, and Janik Serie, he picked up 3 for 10. V4 Comprehensive Larry Seuss getting to 170 for 8. Janik Serie 51 not out. Denzel James 27. Jacqueline Mesmin, he picked up 3 for 33. Don't go.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of the DBS News World for today, Thursday, the 12th of March, 2015. But before we leave you, I'll look back at our top stories. The Minister of National Security responds to claims that the government tampered with the investigators' report on alleged police atrocities. 2 Spanish nationals are in police custody after a cocaine bust in Moshi last night. The government defends its response to the plight of a group of Asian students who have been stranded here as a result of the Lamberts Academy scandal. And the opposition United Workers' Party says it is ready for general elections, which it believes will be called later this year. Our programming continues at 8:30 tonight with Rick Wayne's Talk. Also, join us again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for our next news major. I'm Onel Sanford Bell. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.